Nobody played more international football this past fortnight than Manuel Akanji. Every minute of 3 games for Switzerland. And of course, at Chelsea, he did supplement Rodri in midfield. Jack Grealish has reported unwell, so the creative department is precisely as it began at Stamford Bridge. Argentine Julian Alvarez swaps one partnership with Lionel Messi for another with Erling Haaland, who, after a mini scare with Norway, is ready now within a goal of the fastest 50 in Premier League history. And amongst those on the bench, of course, England's newest cap, Rico Lewis, who turned 19 on Tuesday. And do note that John Stones is there as well. Jurgen Klopp's only league win here was hard off the back of a November international break 8 years ago. He did have a big hug ready and waiting for Alisson after Brazil's fraught fortnight. And albeit still without Andy Robertson, the Liverpool squad is in pretty good shape now. Kostas Tsimikas, the deputy left-back, was a notable contributor against Brentford last time out. That was a match for which Alexis McAllister was suspended. He floats back in now off that Argentine triumph in Rio, and Curtis Jones plays his first league game since he was sent off at Spurs in September. Mo Salah and Darwin Núñez scored between them no fewer than 7 international goals this last week or so. Jota plays, so Luis Diaz doesn't to start with. Endo and Gakpo are the two to drop out of the last 11.
Can Liverpool win here?
They can, but it's mightily difficult. You know the record that Manchester City are on now, 23 games unbeaten, so no game is more difficult than this right now.
Dave, back to you. Cara thinks they can win. I'm not so sure.
It's not just 23 unbeaten, they've won all 23 this season. It's an extraordinary record that City have.
It's a slight surprise, there's no doubt about that. I think when you go back sort of 4 or 5 years and think, where did this real success under Jurgen Klopp start? A lot of it was on the back of selling Philip Coutinho and that money then being reinvested in Virgil van Dijk and Alisson Becker in goal, and those two have been absolutely outstanding this season. Virgil van Dijk for me looks like he's back to his best. It's still early days. Today's a huge test. He's up against the best striker in world football, and the goalkeeper's just being his normal self. So they've had a huge influence on this team, getting it back, compete with Manchester City, because of last season it was a huge drop off, and defensively last season Liverpool was so poor, but a lot of that was to do with how easy it was to get at Liverpool's back four and play through that midfield. A lot different now in there, but I said Virgil van Dijk has been absolutely outstanding. The goalkeeper, as I said, has been brilliant, and they'll need to be the same again today.
And Jurgen Klopp's rebuilt that midfield, but the questions keep being asked of Alexis McAllister, who's playing that number 6 role, that holding role. Do you think that's somewhere that he will have to strengthen in the future, or do you think McAllister can play that in the long term?
No, I don't think it's a long-term solution. I think McAllister came in early in the window. Liverpool was still looking for a number 6, if you like. Put that bid in, huge bid for Caicedo. He's moved on, so I think it's something Liverpool will revisit. But he's a different type of number 6. If you think of what Fabinho was in there, now this Liverpool midfield is more technical, and Jurgen Klopp said to me before the game in the interview about being brave on the ball. So you've got no one really better than a McAllister type in there who's got to take the ball under pressure and get Liverpool playing.
In terms of Trent Alexander-Arnold, you've written a piece this week where the last time that Liverpool played here was the last time that he played as a traditional right-back. His role has changed since then and gone into midfield. Is this the ultimate challenge of whether that experiment, if you like, 24-game experiment, is going to work in the big games moving forward?
Well, there's no bigger testing coming here, but you're calling about it being an experiment. I'm not sure it is an experiment now. I think this is what Liverpool do, and we'd actually look at the record. It's worked for them, but whether Trent was playing in this hybrid role today or was just as a conventional fullback, we'd still be looking at it and thinking he's going to have a tough afternoon against Doku. It's going to be tough for him. He's going to have to defend well. He's going to need help. There's no doubt about that, and that's something, again, Jurgen Klopp referenced within his interview.
I mean, you know, I think it's going to be a long season for Liverpool to continue to perform the way they are performing. I think they've been amazing so far this season, but of course Manchester City have been very good so far. I do think Liverpool can mount a title challenge. It's going to be a tough ask, of course, but the way they're playing at the moment, like, I believe they have a great possibility to do it.
It's been an extraordinary trophy haul for Manchester City, who are arriving right now. These are live pictures. They've been incredible here at the Etihad so far this season, and I just wonder how they would have reflected on the chaos, the confusion of the 4-4 draw with Chelsea 2 weeks ago. A chance to forget that, put that to one side, and go again here against Liverpool this afternoon. Have you been surprised with the hunger, the desire they've shown to win and compete again after doing it all last season?
No, I'm not been surprised by that, because I think that's what Pep Guardiola creates at every club he's at. But I'm also not surprised that there's been a few wobbles along the way and that they look a little bit vulnerable. I think that makes it more interesting. But they're in a good position. I think if you just said after a treble that they would be sat there at the top of the league after 12 games, going into this period of the season that they know all so well, where the Champions